before we got into the studio, that most of the album instrumentally was but like it was arranged thereabouts. So Dan did a little bit of nip tuck on some of the tracks and just like suggested some like, you know, moving parts around, moving, you know, switching the second half and the first half of a chorus, for example, like whether it's on the vocal melodies or just the instrumental side of things. But but yeah, in terms of having fun with the experimental side of things, I think there were fun moments, but like any band that's been in the studio and not had the luxury of lots of money will know that you will literally be spending as much time as physically possible trying to get the perfect sound on stuff. And yeah, it was like we were in that studio until like ridiculous hours in the early morning. Like we were lucky that we were even able to do that because the studio were like they basically gave Dan the key at one point, and just said like, oh, don't go too late, but just make sure you lock up and set the burglar alarm and all that. And it's like, and then cue me doing vocal harmonies in the booth at like 5 a.m.
Nice.
to like, finish things up. So yeah, it was a crazy writing process, but it was or recording process rather. But yeah, it was for the most part where we weren't like killing ourselves trying to get stuff right and you know, figure out the last like odds and ends that didn't get done in time for the studio. Yeah, so the usual stresses. But, yeah, it was good.
That's crazy. You must be in zombie mode by that point of like when you're in a recording studio, because I know how we felt like when we've recently just done a single and it must have been about like 11:30 at night or something like that, and we're like, right, we're gonna have to go back because we're in work tomorrow. And then we're like, all right, we'll just crack on with drums and vocals with the rest of the guys. Like, all right, it's just like you go into absolute zombie mode by that point because you spend so much time in just one area and one environment. You just like need to get out now.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things where like we had a few moments where we were like, okay, we all need to sleep. Like we need to leave and come back, and then we'll do this better. And you know, it's an art. And that's one thing that Dan was good as well, was for recognizing when that moment was. Just where it's like, okay, we're calling it there. Like we've hit our head against this wall a little too much. So yeah, it's definitely that kind of vibe. And but like we were staying in a little Airbnb down the road, so it was like easy enough to get back and forth. And like some days, like it was good to be able to step away and have a bit of a lie-in when the others were working on stuff, or vice versa, like, you know. But you know, for me, I wanted to be in the studio for as much time as physically possible, but sometimes I was just like, yeah, this isn't happening. Yeah, it was good, so.
That's cool.
It makes you think though, doesn't it, like the producer stays there all day with each individual person. Imagine how they feel.
Yeah,
different type of human.
Yeah, that is like his focus is unreal. I think in order to be a good producer, you just have to have your shit together to the nth degree, otherwise it just doesn't work.
Yeah, so, you have every minute accounted for.
Yeah, so one tip that I learned from him was like the whole reason why I own this hands-free kit is that he phones his girlfriend like while he's on the phone. That made no sense. He phones his girlfriend while he's like cooking dinner and stuff.
Okay.
All right.
He'll plan phone calls while he's doing other stuff, and that is like game changing because it can turn like cleaning the bathroom into like having a chat about like menial stuff, like while you're just cleaning away at stuff.
That's quite a good idea.
That's genius. I thought
that. Yeah, one of the game changers that I learned from him. So yeah, these people have their lives finely tuned. So definitely, yeah, he's definitely an incredibly focused human being.
Wait till the next podcast. I'll be making tea whilst we're on with our next guest.
No, you will not.